Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again with a brand new review. This is a sponsored review. So this company named Bluetti, you might have heard about them. They actually sent me a power station to review. They wanted to know my I don't know if you want to call it expert opinion or my mediocre opinion or just my opinion, I think. I've had enough of these to kind of know what to expect out of them and what I like and what I dislike about the power stations and the options that they come with. So let me get the trusty dusty power tool opener here. Okay.
Yay!
I'm gonna open it. All right, Mrs. Ramblin Bob is here.
Hi!
Ramblin Bobcat is also here somewhere.
Somewhere.
She's running around. Okay, we don't need that anymore. All right, so here, this is the EB3A, okay? It's I believe it's a 268 watt-hour power station. This is like the baby of the babies. I think this is the smallest one that Bluetti sells. I like that already. It's a power station box in a power station box. If you guys remember, a couple other companies did that too, where they would pack one box inside another box for safety of shipping. Before I open this, I would like to see some foam inserts or something in there. It feels like it because it's a little squishy in the corners. So let's see how well they packed it. So far, so good, Bluetti. All right. Oh, I see the squishies. Look at squishies, babe.
Yay!
All right. It's a nice plastic handle to carry it. That's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
It's not needed, but it's nice,
Yeah,
right?
that's nice. Because then you can, like,
And there's your squishies.
if you want to keep it nice and safe, you could put it back in that box.
You know, that's true.
And then carry it.
Mrs. Ramblin Bob is a very good point. If you're kind of a real needy person, oh, sorry about the paint, guys. I got in a paint with a fight with a spray can paint job, and I lost. So my hands are going to be covered in paint. So I apologize. But it's clean dirty, if that makes any sense to you. You have to let kind of paint wear off. Unless you can find some paint thinner, which I haven't been able to find yet. So
he's always working on something.
yeah, I'm always building something because that's what the reviews are. I want to test stuff and retest it, and I want to break it, and that way you don't have to break it. So, all right, so here's the squishies. I like this. I like the foam inserts. I like the handle so far. I do like the double reinforced box, if you can see that. That would be almost triple. Yeah, so you can restore it. Yeah, that's a very positive thing. All right, so here's the owner's manual. That's a very big owner's manual for such a little toy. But it has a lot of options. Mrs. Ramblin Bob, you'll grab your phone.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll need a phone because I believe this one has an app with it, if I'm not mistaken. The EB3A comes with an app that allows you to control this little bad boy from wherever you are. Okay, so here's the manual. We're not going to go through that because you know what we do with manuals, guys? We throw them over there, and then my wife goes and picks them up and says, "Did you read it?" And I say, "I did not." And then we go back.
I read it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we do.
Uh-huh.
All right, so it's pretty straightforward, right? That's what guys always say. It's pretty straightforward, and then we never know what we're doing. So we're gonna throw it way over there. We're gonna put it right over there. So far, I really like the box. Bluetti's doing a good job. They do have. Look at this, guys. Like I said, sorry about all the paint on my hands. I was spray painting. Quality control pass, certificate of authenticity there. So that's nice to have that. That's you don't see too many of those. A lot of times they just put that little stamp on the box or something, but it's a little card. It's kind of neat. Not needed, but it's nice. It's nice to have. You always want to know if whatever you buy works or not, if it's been tested. All right, so here it is, okay? I want the honest reaction here from Mrs. Ramblin Bob. She likes these little power stations. She has a huge
Excitement.
yeah, almost like a crush on these little things here. She loves these little things. Okay, so this is your, well, you know what? Before we open that, let's keep her in suspense, because that's always fun. All right, so this is the power package bag that has all the goodies in it. Here you have a standard AC 110 outlet, or 120, depending on what you're plugging it into. Normally it's 110 is what they call it, but it's 120 volts. So you have a standard, which means, Miss Ramblin Bob, they don't have the power pack anymore. So that's a nice thing. I like that a lot, that they don't, you don't have to lug around that big old block. Like here, this is my laptop here, and if you guys see, look how big that darn thing is. That's just for a little laptop here, but it is kind of a powerful laptop, but you got to lug that around, and that's almost 5 or 6 extra pounds. So that's it's nice that it's all built in this little box here. And then this one, this looks like the standard MC4 industry standard solar panel connectors here, and this will have the caution. This will probably say, like, don't chew on, don't chew like bubble gum, don't go underwater. Basically, you don't need this, but
don't chew on it underwater.
Yeah, don't chew on it underwater. Things like that. I mean, these are pretty straightforward, guys. You have a 7909 pin which is a barrel port. Okay, 7.9 millimeters on the outside and 0.9 millimeters. See that little tiny pin in there? It almost looks like a needle. That's the inner pin. So you have a positive, negative with that little pin there, and the outside of the barrel that makes the connection.
I was looking at the fact that over here they made it so you know, like, which one's the red and which one's the black.
Well, usually, most of the time, not always, most of the times, the inner pin is always positive.
Yeah.
And they do that to protect that pin.
I just meant on the other side they show you, so you know.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
PV. You know what that stands for? I do too, but I can never pronounce it. It's called photovoltaic. Basically it's a solar panel. It's what they call a solar panel. I don't even know if I said that right, but that's what it means. Photovoltaic or something like that. We always call them solar panels, guys. The scientific term is that photovoltaic or something like that. But it's not necessary if you just call it a solar panel and you hook it up the right way and then it works. That's all you really need to know. There you go, call it PV.
Oh
Yeah. You know, in this country, United States, we have abbreviated everything except Mr. and Mrs. RB. So, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, that's Mrs. and Mrs. Rambling Bob. Get that? Okay. So,
you know what I always found funny?
All right.
That the word abbreviation is so long.
Yeah.
When you're making it short. You know?
All right. Now I'm gonna have you over here. Okay. And then
yeah.
You're gonna test that by opening it out of the package.
I get to open it?
Yep.
Yay!
All right, pop that little bad boy out of there. Oh, it's got a light on it, guys.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh. Ta-da!
There you go, guys. This is the EB3A by Bluetti. Look at that little guy. Very clean, very professional looking power station.
Look how cute.
Do you think it's got one of those what-have-yous on here, babe?
I don't think it does. It looks like it's very shiny.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that doesn't come with a protector, but that's okay. Very, very tiny box. What do you think, first impressions?
It's so cute.
It's so tiny, right? Holy cow.
I can pick it up with one hand.
Hey, you want to give it the test? Here. Give it the heave-ho here.
I did already.
Oh, yeah, you pulled it out of the box.
Yeah, I pulled it out of the box.
Do it 5 times. Muscles. 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 Come on, everybody. Muscles. All right, 5 times. Do you feel stronger?
No.
Okay, no, I'll do it 5 times. Ready?
Well, it's a power station. It gave me power.
Okay, hold on.
You know?
Look at that. See those muscles?
Wow.
All right, guys. It's very, very light, guys. It's only 10 pounds. What a cool little box. This would be absolutely perfect to recharge your phones or your laptop or your tablets or whatnot. You take camping, it's so tiny you can charge your phone on the top of here. Let's go through the options real quick just to kind of see. We'll go in depth later, but this is just kind of the unboxing part.
Yeah.
And there's not much to it, right?
No.
So the unboxing part is not a whole lot. And then we're going to do the app later on and everything. So I was right, it's a 268 watt hour EB3A by Bluetti. So up here we have the DC output here. So this is going to be a regulated 12 volt port. It has the twist points in there, the twist locks, if you have those fancy ones. Basically that's the cigarette lighter that you could plug in there on the go kind of thing. It's in your car. Everyone's got one of those. Most people, the newer cars, don't even have cigarette lighters anymore. Then you got 2 barrel ports. I think these are 5521 barrel ports, and those are output. That's 10 amps, and this is also 10 amps at 12 volts. And then this is your power button. So if you push that, look at that. That's a pretty clean little screen, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? It's blue. Guess why?
Bluetti?
It's Bluetti. There you go. So Bluetti. It's an eco mode. Eco mode I don't like. I always keep it in normal mode. But eco mode kind of helps you save power. If you forget to turn it off and whatnot, it turns it off. And you can do that through the app. So I'll figure that out later. And then here's your light bulb. Oh, that's bright, huh? Is that blinding you guys?
Wow.
It's a pretty bright little light. A lot of people don't like these little lights. I do for one big reason. Say you're going fishing and you take this little bad boy down. They're fishing with you. And, say your phone's low on battery or whatever, or you don't have a phone. That's even better. Say you don't have a phone. You can literally turn this on and carry this like a lunchbox and then just light up the whole trail all the way back to the camper if you're in a campground, or back to the cabin, or back to your house, or wherever you live. It comes in handy, guys. It really does. Or if you're looking for a certain tool and you use this at night in your work van or something like that, and you use that kind of as a flashlight to light up the van to see where your tools are laying and everything. Boy, that spray paint got everywhere, didn't it, dear?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I worked with black. Can you tell, guys? black and white. So I got a little bit everywhere. All right, back to the power station. We have, over here, we have the AC output. And these are 120 volts at 600 watts output. And then you just turn this on by hitting that little button, and look at that. That
Rambling Bobcat is here, if you can't tell.
Yep, she definitely found, okay, she found that little...
foam insert.
Yeah, she found the foam packing insert, if you can hear that.
Sorry.
You guys hear that?
She's also likes to, unbox things once they're already unboxed.
Yeah,
so.
she really likes
Hey, honey.
to scratch on those darn things. All right, let's include her real quick in the review here. All right, let's put that up there.
Well, this is just the.
We're gonna set that there, and then we're gonna bring. All right, Mr. Rambling Bobcat here. All right,
Mrs.
and that's Mr. Mrs. Okay, now you guys can kind of see what she likes. She likes to rub these darn things.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. This is what we have to deal with, guys. All right.
Oh.
Okay, well, she likes it, so she gets to stay in the picture now. Okay, so back to the EB3A. Rambling Bobcat is in there. Let's see, make sure we're still in the video here. All right, we're gonna drop this down, and we're gonna get a little bit better of some angle here. All right, hold on one second, guys. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna put this up. All right, now we got a little bit better view, and Rambling Bobcat is in the background. Okay, so now we got the 120 volt outputs, which are here, and then I think you hold that down or you just push it. There you go. 60 hertz. That means it's pure sine wave, but 60 hertz, and everything is off now. There's no input coming in. It's at 69%, and it says it'll last 30 hours on standby. And then this side, you have a circuit protector. Now this is nice. You don't have a fuse in there. You actually have a, this is like a hot button. So if you pop it, this little button will go boop, and then you have to squish it back in there like that. That's nice to have that right on the front. It's right handy where you need it. Easy access. Right, Rambling Bobcat? Yeah, okay. And then here you have your input. Now your input, this is for this bad boy here. So when you want to plug it in the wall, you can plug it like that, and then that's easy because you don't have all the power brick and everything. So I think that's a nice feature, right, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that a lot. A few other power stations I have that direct input. Okay, there goes Rambling Bobcat. All right, so now we got our studio back here. She wanted to be part of the video, guys. Once she sees what's going on, then she runs away. Okay, so now we have, let's put this up here now. We have the 7909 barrel input, or port, and that goes in here like this, and then basically you plug in your solar panel, just like that. It's very simple. You just positive negative or negative positive, depending on how your solar panels are hooked up. Always check your solar panels before you start plugging them in there. Because if these things don't have a safety thing in there, it'll let the power go in backwards, and then you'll have a nightmare of a bad time. But okay, now you notice how it turned off? That's the eco mode, guys. So if you leave that eco mode on, or eco mode, I call it eco mode, that allows the system to turn off when you don't need it, and that way it saves extra power. Now you only have 268 watt hours in this little guy, so you want to preserve as much power as you can. It's not like you're running around with 8, 10, 12, 24, or 50 1,000 watt hours. So you have to be a little conservative on this one. It has the 15 watt charging for your phone. That's about 50% efficient. That's average for wireless charging. You do lose a lot of energy when it goes through the air like that. And if Nikola Tesla would have had his way, we'd have million volts going through the air, right, dear?
Yeah.
That would have been interesting to have a million volts go into your car as you're driving down the freeway. That would have been an interesting life to live. Who ever knows what happened to his technology? But this basically is just a little baby power station. And so far, you know what? Out of looks, what do you give it out of 10? What would you give it out of 10?
It's so cute.
I give it probably, I would say at least an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I think it's a very professional looking. You can see it's very professional looking. It doesn't look cheap, guys.
And everything on the front is like well placed, where like they like made sure everything had room, you know what I mean? Like Tetris in front of it, where everything has its own space, but they made sure everything has room, you know what I mean? They
squeezed it in, but they squeezed it in respectfully.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Very good, yeah. I forgot about these three little guys here. So these are 5 volt at 3 amps, so that would make it 15 watt USB-A's, and then this is a 100-watt USB-C power delivery port. That's pretty cool. If that puts out 100 watts, that's really nice to have in a little box like this. To give you an idea, this would last about possibly 2.5 hours at 100 watts output, being it's 268 watt hours total. You do lose some for efficiency, so we're going to say about 2.5. The tests are coming up later in the video, and then you have 2 AC out receptacles. I think that's everything. That's a very simplistic, very professional looking box. I do like, personally, the bigger ones now. I kind of spoiled myself into the ones that have thousands and tens of thousands of watt hours in there. But these small ones are really nice if you're looking to get into the power station market kind of thing, and you don't know really what you want yet. I recommend something small like this because you're not breaking the bank. I think the cheapest I've ever seen this one is about 209 bucks, something like that. That's the cheapest I ever seen it, which is very low. It's less than $1 a watt hour, which I think is very respectable for especially such a professional looking box. I've seen some, if I can have the Mylan ones, dear, and I'll put that next to it. Now the Mylan one is a little bit bigger, but it also is more batteries. Oh, this is also lithium iron phosphate batteries, guys. That's a huge difference. So this one is the Mylan. This is 620 watt hours, and you used to think that was small, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that one looks so much smaller now.
So which one, if you had to choose between two right now, would you like the one you've always had, or would you like to upgrade?
Don't make me do that.
We got to do, but choices on you now. You got to answer that.
Oh, Ramblin Bobcat's calling. They need to go.
Okay. I think she likes this one better, guys. She also likes that Pecron one. That's a nice one too. But that's a neat little box, guys. I wish it had more power, but like I said, for the price of it, it's a great way to learn about power stations. I spent a lot of money learning about power stations, and like everybody, you're gonna make mistakes in the beginning. I think that's the inevitable of life. When you get into a new trade or a new hobby or a new technology, you're bound to buy things that are not right for you because you bought something that wasn't compatible with what your needs were. This would be perfect if you have, like I said, a laptop. If you want to charge something like one of these little bad boys, or a phone, or you know, like say you want to run your, let's try it here. Say you want to run, how do you turn it on here? That's this one. This is your power here for the DC, and then I'll plug this bad boy right in here, and we'll see how much power comes out of there. Let's see. All right, is it working? Output 0. All right, it says charging, so I think we have to wait. I think output is here, or it's coming out so little. Oh, you know what? I think my GoPro is full. Let's see. Let's turn on everything here. That's that one. That's AC. That's okay. We don't need the light. Oh, there it goes. Oh no, that was the light. Okay. Yeah, so maybe it's coming out so. Oh, you know what? Oh my goodness. The button's not on. Okay, so I'm silly, guys. Basically, if you tap these powers once, the screen comes on, and if you tap it twice, the little green light comes on, which is common sense now. And then notice that this spiked, and then it is, I don't know if it's charging or it might be full. I'm trying to, you know what? Let's do. Oh no, that's the other one. I can't do that. This is a USB micro. Let's see. Let's put a couple things in there and see. Or if I have a USB-C to USB-C. We're gonna do all this testing later, but I just wanna monkey with it now. This is a micro. Okay.
Ramblin Bob gets excited.
Yeah, well, you know, I want to get to the testing. Like that's the best part of the videos is testing this stuff, you know. And I don't know where it is here. Let's see. That's a VGA cord. This is that. Okay. This one and this one. Okay. This is a micro. Okay. So I was looking for a micro here. It says that there's no power coming out to my camera, and it screen shut off. There you go, screen's back on. So let's see if it is, possibly I have a full camera. It's possible that the camera is full, or let's see. All the testing, like I said, we'll do later. Oh, I went the wrong way. This has to go micro in here. And then this one has to go here. Okay, so we'll pop that bad boy in there. And then, oh, see, oh, there you go. Okay, so obviously my GoPro that I'm filming on is fully charged. But this one is obviously blinking, and it's using up 8 watts. So let's undo this one, since we don't need that one anymore. Put it here. And plug that bad boy right in here like this. There you go. Okay, so now we're using up about 4 watts charging this little power brick here. So they do work. Okay, we'll check that one. That's 4. And then this one over here, let's let it reset. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so obviously that system that we're filming on was already full. But now, as you can see, it's eating out some power. So 4 whole watts, guys. And I don't know what the size of the battery is now. Where's that instruction manual I said hold on to, dear?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this little guy, I'm guessing it's probably about 20. Let's see if it's a 24. Let's see what the battery capacity is here. It says 12 amp hour. Do we have it? It's 2,500 life cycles to 80%. Usually it's about, what is that, about 3,500, but this is a pretty big 600 watt inverter for a 268 watt battery. That's, you know, more than double the size. Let's see here. Well, I suppose we can go over that with all the what have yous in the battery. It says 12 amp hour battery, 200, and maybe it is a 12. I don't see the voltage in there. I'm kind of looking in this thing, and I don't really see the voltage here. I see the power out. It has a surge of 1,200 watts. Charging temperature, discharging temperature, weight dimensions. There's only 10 pounds. Did I mention that, guys? 10 lousy pounds. That's nothing. I mean, that's literally nothing to carry around. I have laptops that weigh more than 10 pounds, unfortunately. They're pretty big laptops. I do not see the voltage of the battery in here, but I'm pretty sure, yep, 7909 is the pin. And then you have, well, you know what? Let's end this and let's get right into the testing. Are you ready, dear? Because that's my favorite, and then we'll have all the specs and everything in the testing portion. Because that way everything is written down and I can read it out kind of like a library here, but
Ready.
all right, 1, 2, 3, let's get ready to ramble! Alright guys, here we go. This is the tail of the tape here, the specs on the EB3A by Bluetti. Okay, so the length is about 10 inches wide. That's very dinky. It's only about 10 pounds too. The height is about 7 inches, and the depth is about the same, 7 inches. So 10 inches wide, 7 inches deep, and 7 inches tall. So you can see this is the size of my hand. So it's about the size of my hand, 2 hands. Yep. And it's only 10 pounds, so it's a pretty tiny little thing. Okay, that's 10.14 pounds to be 100% accurate according to the specs of Bluetti. All right, so now we're going to discuss the battery information. The capacity in this little guy is 268.8. They didn't put the little 0.8 on there, but according to the specs on the website, it says 268.8 watt hours, which is a 12 amp hour battery. The battery chemistry is lithium iron phosphate. That's very good because it's much safer than lithium ion, and it has much more charge cycles than lithium ion. So I'm a big fan of that. You're looking at life cycles is 2,500 life cycles to 80% original capacity. So what that means is after 2,500 cycles, you don't just take this box and throw it in the garbage. Basically, what happens is that's 100% of charge right there. And then after about 2,500 cycles, it'll dip down to about 80% of the battery, if that's a visual for you. That means that the top portions of the batteries will become unusable in time, and then as the battery kind of degrades over time, that'll seep down a little bit until you know the battery's unusable. But don't worry, that's what is that? 2,500 cycles divided by, let's see, I think that's about 8 years, about 365. So that is almost 7 years for the battery just to reach 80%. I think that's fantastic, because chances are if you buy a power station within 7 years, you're going to buy another one and another one and another one. I have bought 8 of them within a 12-month period, just to give you an idea that the bug that these things are, they're very catchy. And it's almost like Pokemon cards. Once you get the EB3A, then you want the EB55 or the, like the EB5A, I think it is, or EB55. Like, you will not stop with one power station. That I can 100% guarantee that. No matter who you are. The system management is MPPT controller, which is in this portion here. So you have the controller talks to the BMS, which is the battery management system, and it also talks to the input, which is the either AC or DC, solar, car, generator, and basically it balances all your charging things for you, so you don't have to worry about this bad boy having any troubles anytime soon, because that regulates all the power, so you don't have to do anything other than go like this, and you plug the bad boy in like this, and you're done. See how quick that was? So it literally talks to, this is a solar panel, and it literally talks to the BMS management system and the batteries and the solar panel. Like, I'll show you what I mean here. So it's obviously past solar panel time right now. So as you can see the input button that it's flashing right there? Basically what that's telling you is the MPPT controller in here. Oh, see, oh, there it picked up a little bit. So basically what it's telling you was the voltage was not high enough yet in order for this to charge. Now notice we're only getting 16 watts. It's the end of the day. This obviously gets a lot more power than that. So I think it goes up to 200. We'll get there in a minute. But when it's not high enough, you'll see that little thing, like I'll do it again, you'll see it, it'll flash like that, and that means at the end of a solar day or at the beginning of a solar day, this doesn't make any weird beeping sounds and stuff. Oh, there it jumped right back in. So that little flashing is basically, I'm not ready yet with the sun, or the sun is going down for the evening and the voltage is not high enough, so that's the warning. But it doesn't give you any verbal beeps, which is nice, because another power station that I have, it goes click beep, and it drives you absolutely up the wall. So this is nice that it keeps it quiet, and it grabs the power when it can and when it needs it. I'll leave that plugged in just for a second as you can watch that. It also has the shelf life. You should, it was recommended to, for Bluetti, recharge this to 80%, at least 80%, every 3 to 6 months. What I recommend, guys, I recommend cycling these systems once a month. I'm a little bit more picky than Bluetti with this. I like to make sure that the system works, and I like to charge it all the way to 80% or higher at least once a month. That means drain it completely or very close to completely, and then recharge it. And that way the batteries inside have a chance to refresh the energy, so you don't have what's known as like stale energy. Energy that stays in a battery becomes stale, and it kind of wears on the battery cell. So you kind of want to refresh that every once in a while. Okay, now for the outlets we have, let's unplug this now. So for the outlets, we have 2 AC 120 volt at 60 hertz pure sine wave outlets, which is really nice. And all you have to do, see a little pure sine wave symbol down here? So if you click this one time, the little screen comes on. If you do either one of these one time, and then if you hold this down, notice that the AC, well, let's do it again here. And hold on a minute here. Click it on, and there you go. Okay, so you have to double click. I thought you had to hold it down. So you click once for the screen to pop on, and you click twice, and then obviously the AC, notice it says AC right there, and it automatically is set to UPS. So all you have to do is plug it in the wall, and then once the battery's charged, boom, it goes right to UPS. And that way, if you have a power outage, the battery takes over, and then this acts as a battery backup system, hence universal power supply, UPS, until you plug it back in the wall or you deplete all the energy in this little box. So being that you have 5 amps at 120 volts, that comes out to 600 watts. Now this system has what's known as a power lifting, and you have to turn that on inside the app of the Bluetti app. That means it can shoot all the way up to 1200 watts. That's insane for this little box here. And that way you can power like heaters and curling irons and things like that that are really current heavy draw at first, and then they kind of settle down. Notice it goes on standby with the screen. That's nice because it saves power. So now here you click that turned off that little, you heard that click in there, it turns off the AC inverter. And then for the screen, you can either wait, or I believe you hold the button down, and I think that'll turn off the screen. Yep, so 2 seconds and then the screen will turn off. So now everything's on standby, it's all completely off. You have pure sine wave, 1200 watts is the surge power, the power lifting. Now for the USB-C, which is here, this is 100 watts out, which is the protocol 20 volts at 5 amps. That makes 100 watts. Now when you get a cord, okay, let me grab a cord here. I think I have one somewhere. Alright, where did I put that little bad boy here? It doesn't come, when you first order this system, it doesn't come with that system. I gotta find my other, I know it's here somewhere. Hold on a second, guys. What? You know, when you do these reviews, you have tons of cables sitting everywhere, and then you go to set them down, and then sure enough, you turn your head and you can't find your cable. So basically, there's a cable I'm looking for on my desk here, which I don't know why it's not here. I just had it 2 seconds ago. Can you believe that, guys? I just had it. Oh, it's on my lap. See that? It's a black cable. I'm wearing black pants, and it literally blended into my lap. How crazy is that? Okay, so this is a very special cable. You do not get this when you order this Bluetti EB3A. This is a special chipped cable that allows 20 volts up to 5 amps, which is 100 watts. You have to order this separate if you intend to use this at its full potential 100 watts, unless you have a cable at home already. So basically what you would do is you would pop it in here, pop it in whatever you want to charge, and then basically you would get 100 watts out of there. So just to give you an idea, let's take this bad boy here. We're going to take another power station. We're going to plop it right there. And then we're going to turn, let's turn this on. So it's 1 click for the screen and 2 clicks, or is it hold this one down? Let's see here. Oh, okay, so 1 click, and then it turns on, and then 1 click. There you go. Okay, so you have to wait till this little power meter. It's kind of like a startup thing. So this system here can intake through its power delivery input-output port up to 100 watts. So we'll see what that does, if anything. Here, let's see what it tries to pull out. Okay, there's the output now. Now notice that it kind of ramps up. So that's the machine talking to the other machine and finding out how much power it needs to put across. Okay, so notice it's still going up 89, and on this system it says input 90 watts. This is a very hard system screen to read, but it says 90 watts. So notice that this system is putting the output at 89 watts. Now that's a little bit less than 100 watts with my testing and my setup. This battery is at 85%, so it's only bringing in 90 watts. It says putting out 89, and this one says 90. Now usually, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, because usually when this system can take in 90 watts, it's usually putting out about 99 watts. And I don't have the special tools that all the big guys on the big channels have. I have this old kind of technique to test my stuff until I can get those tools. I'm kind of a newer channel, a very new channel. But I think this might be a little bit inaccurate, and I won't know until I get the updated like all the power stuff of where you like it's a little board with a fan on it, and it basically can pull out as much power as you want, and then it cuts off and it overloads that on purpose so you can see where the cutoff is. But like I said, being that this is taking out 90 watts on this system, I don't know if you can see that. Boy, that's the brightest that screen gets, guys. 90 watts on this system usually means that this would be putting out 95, 96, 97, 98, because you do lose in conversion. So I can't confirm that yet. This is the only test that I've done on that so far. So you're bringing out 90 watts, which means beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is probably a 100-watt output. There's other power stations who had a little bit of trouble with that one. It was only come out at 65. But that one we know we can definitely pull out at least 90 watts out of there so far with my testing skills. Okay. Then we have the USB-A ports, which are here. Now these bad boys are 5 volts at 3 amps, which is 15 watts. So that'll put this from the output into, let's see if I have another one here. All these little cables I got going on here. So we need this bad boy here. And then you can take, let's see, this one is, let's turn this back on now. Okay, so the DC's on there just by touching that little button. Let's plug in the first one here, and then we're going to go into the same thing, that power delivery input output port of the power station above it. So you plug that in, and then we'll see what that does. And this is the only way I have to test this stuff as far as 100% accuracy. No, okay, so it's going out at 10 watts here, 11 watts. It's going out at 11, and it's bringing in 9 watts up here, so that's not putting out a full 15 watts. But like I said, this is the only way I have to test this stuff until I get all the proper tools and all the stuff. So the most I saw in this one is 10 watts, so we're gonna have to wait and see if that comes out a little bit stronger later on with testing. So this is supposed to come out at 15 watts. Okay, we have also, let's see, the DC outputs. Now those I don't have any way to test them because I don't have any, I usually don't use DC, guys. I usually don't. This is basically a cigarette lighter that would power, you know, basically anything, a ham radio, a CB, all kinds of stuff like that. This is 12 volts regulated at 10 amps, which should be 120 watts output on this port here. And then underneath it here you have two 5521 barrel outputs, and that means 5.5 millimeter on the outside ring, and it is 2.1 millimeter on the inside pin. And that way, if you have to buy the cable, because that also doesn't come with this, so you can buy that separately through Bluetti's website. They have a car one or barrel ports that you can purchase through their website on their link. And those are, let's see, all regulated outputs. So that means basically that these, no matter what this battery is, all the way down to total DOD, which is depth of discharge, it'll stay regulated output, and that way you don't have to worry about these dropping voltage while you're trying to power something, because sometimes that'll hurt whatever you have plugged into that. And then you have on top of it, if I can get rid of this guy now, you have the wireless charging on the top, which is 15 watts. Now these, I know that the efficiency of wireless is not the best, so I expect this to come out at about 7 to 8 watts depending. I don't have a phone that has wireless charging on it. My phone is an old phone, and it doesn't accept the wireless. It doesn't have a battery technology like that in it. So I expect that to come out at about 7 or 8 watts. I'll have more testing in later videos, of course, with all the proper, you know, what have yous and tools and everything to test this. And then you have the input, basically, is the AC charging cable. Now that's this bad boy here. So notice we're at 97%. So if you were to plug this in the wall here, now this is only 110 voltage. This is hooked to another power station, so you would get a little bit more when it's hooked to 120 volt power, like a wall outlet or something. And then you open this little guy right here, and you plug this little thing right in there like that, and then there you go, and you can see it's going to start running. And then here's the wattage over here. You heard the clicker, the UPS, it automatically turns on, which means once this is full, you have uninterrupted power supply for whatever you hook this to through these bad boys here. So notice that we're putting 200, it's still going up just about 290 watts actual from the wall, and we're dragging in, actually dumping in 260 watts. Now notice it's almost full. You can get up to 280 watts solar. Well, actually in turbo mode you can get 350 watts. So that's like a speed, but you have to set that in the app. You're not allowed to do that unless you set it in the app. I leave it on standard charging, and it's better for the batteries. I don't think that the speed is that much of a difference to where you have to, you know, like you need it 15 minutes faster. It's better for the battery cells if you leave it in a normal charging. Now notice this is dropping down because obviously the battery is almost complete. That'll fill very quickly for the last 2%, guys. I'll let it go ahead. I'll just have to refresh the screen to keep it on there for you. It says 0.1 hour, so that'll be pretty quick. As I said, the turbo mode you can set in the app, in the Bluetti app, this thing. This little app I'll show you in a minute. That'll allow it to go up to 350 watts inputs, and that'll charge this bad boy in it's like 45 or 50 minutes. It's very quick. And then the solar input now, you can go anywhere between 12 volts and 28 volt input, and that's a 7909, which is a 7.9 millimeter by 0.9 millimeter pin inside. It's a barrel input, and that looks like this. As you see that little tiny pin in there, that's 0.9 millimeters, and this big circle, that's 7.9. It's obviously special to Bluetti. You can plug them both in at the same time, and I think this is really, really low. As you can see, it just flashed, which means now you have 2 ports of input coming in, which is the little tiny bit from solar. It's the end of the day, and then the power mainly from the wall. So I'll unplug this now. So that's another way you can charge it. And then you also have a car input. Now that that cable you have to buy from Bluetti. It's a special order, and that's basically the cigarette lighter that goes in your car into the 7909 barrel input. It's the 7.9 by 0.9 millimeters. Boy, those numbers, they always get you confused. And then what that would do is that would charge either from 12 volts or a 24 volt system if you're lucky enough to have that in your RV or your big truck or something, or your big rig, you know, like a semi truck. They have 24 a lot of times. Then you can charge this anywhere between, I think it's about 120 watts at the max for car input at 12 volts, and up to 240, which is in reality about 100 watts at 12 volts and about 200 watts at 24 volts. I'll leave this on so you can watch that. See, 99%, so it's going to basically taper off and finish. And then now maximum input, basically when you have solar input and AC input, or 2 versions of any kind. If it's AC and charging from the car or generator or solar, can reach up to 430 watts total at the same time using 2 ports at one time. So that's nice. That'll charge this puppy very quickly at that speed. 400 divided by that, so you could get this up and going in 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then you're on your way. So if you really need this in a hurry and it's emergency, 35, 40 minutes, something like that, 45 minutes, and you got a fresh power station, 100% ready to scoot. Okay, so your recharge times, your AC charging, with turbo mode is anywhere between 1.3 and 1.8 hours, and that's just this cord on the turbo mode in the Bluetti app. Then you have also the AC and standard, which I like to do. Like I said, I like the standard charge because I don't like to push the battery cells too hard, because over time it kind of degrades the battery cells a little bit. That would be anywhere between 1.5 to 2 hours. Now notice it's not that much of a difference, guys, unless you're really, really in an emergency situation and you need to shave off, you know, 10-15 minutes. Okay, then I'm okay with that. But if you can wait 1.8 hours through the turbo mode, you can definitely wait 2 hours, which is only a couple minutes more on the standard charging, and the battery cells will thank you long term if you do that. Okay, then you have the solar input charging. Now remember, that was 200 watts max. That's anywhere between 1.8 and 2 hours, which is very similar to the AC charging. Then you have the 12 volts and the 24 volts. So that's anywhere between 3.2 and 3.7 hours at 12 volt, and 1.9 to 2.4 hours at 24 volt system. And now if you have AC and charger at 430, which is the max input, you're looking at 1.2 hours to 1.7 hours, and that's obviously with full sunshine, full sun rays. And then you have the dual AC, which is 430 watts. If you have the dual AC, you have to get the optional Bluetti T200 adapter, which I don't have. That one you have to also put into this little guy, and then you can put that into the wall. And you basically run one AC and then one AC to a power brick, which is a T200 adapter, and then you plug it in this little bad boy right there in the little 7909. And then you can do that in 1.2 to 1.7 hours. Does it have pass-through charging? Yes, so you can use this power box and the energy that's in it to power something while you're charging it from the wall. And remember, you have the UPS that automatically jumps on as soon as you plug it in the wall, and once that battery is full, it automatically goes to standby and then lets the energy flow through this device into the device you're using. Okay, the weight we already talked about, it's 10 pounds approximately. Dimensions we talked about. The operating temperatures is -4, so 4 degrees below freezing you can use this bad boy, all the way up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very hot. If you have a day that's more than 104, if you're camping, boy, that's a miserable day, guys. Go sit in the water, go sit in the shade, have some lemonade, and relax. And maybe a soda pop. I like the Dr. Peppers. That's my favorite. Cherry Dr. Peppers. The storage temperature is anywhere between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is basically freezing all the way up to, no, I'm sorry, yeah, 32. Boy, I'm getting lost here with all these numbers. 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is freezing, all the way up to 104. Okay, so now, that's good that this popped on. So if you guys hear that, do you hear that? That's the little fan. So basically that's doing a cooling mode now. We're only putting in about 150 watts, and you can hear that, the cooling fan. I'll be quiet for a second just so you guys can hear that. And as you can see, that's possibly or probably max fan. As you can hear, it's kind of ramping up to keep it cool. And that's usually the most that you would hear on this little guy. And basically that sounds like, what would you say, dear? That's probably about the same decibels that I'm talking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about 60 decibels is what it sounds like. I don't have a decibel meter here, but it sounds about the same loudness as me talking. A whisper is like 30. This is a whisper. 45 decibels is kind of like if I talk softly. And then if I talk normally, that's 60 decibels. So it's in between 45 and 60 decibels, I think, as far as the sound. The warranty is 24 months. That's 2-year warranty on this guy. It has all the certifications, of course, the UL standard, the COC, the DOE, the FCC, and the very hard to get, the California Prop 65. California Prop 65 has got to be one of the hardest standards. That hits everything from lawnmowers to trimmers to everything, electronic and gas. That's a pretty tough one. In the box, as we saw, you get the Bluetti EB3A. You get the AC charging cable, which is this bad boy here. You get the, let me pull it over here. You get the 7909 barrel to the very tough to get off, brand new, because they're brand new, MC4 connectors. I had to unhook them on the fly here. Very tough because nicely that the pins are very tight and new. You want that because the harder these are to pull apart, the safer your system will be. Let's see, 99, so it's just finishing up here. It says 0.1 hours. I don't know if that's 10 minutes. Basically, you take 10% of 60, which is 6 minutes, so that should probably be about another 6 minutes, and then that'll finalize. As I said, you don't get the DC power that goes from here into your car. Well, it goes from this port from your car into the 7909 barrel, and you do not get this guy here. You have to buy these extra guys. This is the USB-C 100 watts USB-C cable. Now, if you have one of these and you're not pulling out 100 watts, it's not the fault of the system. Your cable is not equipped with either a chip or a special circuit board inside there that allows the new protocol of 20 volts at 5 amps. So make sure you have the proper Bluetti one, or if you have one at home that is a proper 100. I recommend the Bluetti only because if you use all of their items, obviously they've been spec'd and researched and tested, and that's kind of a nice thing. If you have one that works, that's wonderful, save you some bucks. Otherwise, you can order that one on Bluetti's website. As the time of filming this right now, on Bluetti's website, it's only 209 bucks. That's pretty cheap, guys. So you get a 268.8 according to the specs on the website, 268.8 watt-hour Bluetti EB3A for only $210. I don't know if it's free shipping or not. Let me toss one in the cart here and see what it says. Let's see. So far it's $209. Let's go to checkout. Let's see if I can get to checkout here. All right, click the button to checkout. And so with tax, my total came from shipping. It says calculate it at the next step. So let me see if I can put that in there real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got to see what the shipping is for you. And obviously Bluetti will have a discount all the time. Let's see, shipping. Let's go to that. Boom. Oh, you gotta have a name. Okay, hold on here.
I heard you can get great discounts during the live.
Oh yeah. Sometimes if you watch that Bluetti live feed, guys, you do
They
get
give out discounts.
Yeah. Okay. So it didn't go. Hold on. Oh, it needs a phone number. Boy, oh boy, you got to enter all this stuff. Give me 2 more seconds, guys. Sorry about this. All right. Let's see if that'll take it. I just want to see what it is here.
You need an email.
And you need an email. Okay. Hold on here. So we're gonna do the email. Okay. That's a lot of stuff to go through with this bad boy, and there you go. Okay, so it says the shipping is free, so that's nice. So you have $209 for the EB3A. The shipping is free, guys. That's awesome. And then the estimated taxes to be collected is $11.50. Now, I'm in the Midwest. Depending where you are, the shipping might alter, which brings a total to $220.50. But for 220 bucks, you're almost at just about 80, probably about 89.90 cents a watt hour. I think that's very fair. Let's do the actual math on it. 220 divided by 268. Yep, it's 82 cents. That's actually a little bit less than what I thought. So 82 cents per watt hour for this little guy. And like I said, it does have the UPS feature in there. That way, if you want to run a laptop or a desktop, and then if the grid goes out, you get a little bit of extra power. Maybe, a security system on these things is a really good idea, guys, because if the grid goes out, your security goes out. And if you have it hooked to this, then you have a backup plan for your security system, which is always good to have a backup plan for security systems. Hence the word security. Right? All right, I think that's the end of this review. I'll have updates more with the more testing and things like that at a later date. This is basically just to give you an idea of what they have to offer with this power station. And I really thank Bluetti for sending this over. We didn't pay a dime for this, guys, not a penny. And we were able to enjoy this and test it so far. We're going to test it more, of course. And that way we can see if this will handle what we need. I like how the handle folds down. Babe, do you want to add anything to it as far as what you like? Or
I just wanted to say thanks, Bluetti, and that it's so cute.
Yeah, she likes it, guys. She has another one, and I'm trying to get her to upgrade. And she really fell in love with that first model. And I think
so tiny.
Yeah, I think the systems that Bluetti is making, her system is lithium ion, and these are all like they don't have lithium ion anymore for Bluetti. All their systems now are lithium iron phosphate. So you don't get like 500 or 600 or 700, even 1,000 cycles, guys. You get 2,500 to even 3,500 cycles on the bigger systems from Bluetti, and sometimes even more than that on the really big systems. So that alone is definitely worth the upgrade. Is there anything else you want to mention about this?
It has a very bright light.
Yeah, the light is extremely bright, guys.
I was surprised by that.
That's a very, I don't know if you can see it on the actual camera, but this little dot right here, it's a little LED light, and this little dot literally lit up this entire, what is this, 10 by 12?
Yeah.
I have a very small work, what do you call it, a workstation bench. Yeah, a workshop. I call it a workshop. And it's very small. It's only 120 square feet as far as the floor, but this little dot right here on the first level, just that lit up the entire room, and that comes out at 1 watt, which means basically you can go 30 hours with that little dot. You can probably go more. I don't know, I haven't tested that longevity yet. This is basically just the opening and first impressions of this little bad boy. But that little light, like here, if I can put it in the camera, look at that, guys. And that's on the low setting. There's a higher setting. Watch this. Oh, that's the blinking one. Okay. Oh. That's got a little twitch in there. Is it? Oh, maybe that's. Do you think? I don't know. Is that the? Maybe that's the flashing.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's an oopsie in there, guys. I don't know if there's a short in the light or. Huh. Let's try it again here. Okay, so the first one goes, and then when I hit the next button, there it goes. Oh, see that?
It's when you move it.
Yeah. Oh boy, there might be a little short in that light, guys. Oh, I hate to say that, but you know, I gotta be honest. Let's see. Well, that's a strange one, dear. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, there might be a little short in that light, guys. What do you think? Well, that's a good time for it to pop out because for it to do that on a live. Oh, see, there it goes. Okay. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to tilt it again here. Okay, now it's on. Maybe it just has a.
Having a bad day.
Yeah, maybe it just has a tough time starting. Well, I'm glad this happened in the beginning of the video, guys. I mean, that's the most important. Okay, there's a brighter one. Yeah, it seems like it's okay now. Do you think maybe because it's so new that the light had to kind of get worked in?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, see there? It went up. See that? Huh. Well, that's something Bluetti's got to look at here and make sure. Guys, if you have the system, let me know how this light acts for you. I don't think it's the button, but when I tilted it, sometimes. Oh, okay. No, it's good. The brighter one. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's got to get broken in, guys. I'll definitely do an update with that because that's a concerning thing. And then there's the flashing. Okay, so now it seems to work okay. Yeah, now it's on. I wonder if it just had to get like broken in, like used. You know what I mean? Huh. I'm very glad that happened now, though. Let's put it on the lowest one. Let's tilt it again. Let's do a super wiggle. Yeah, it seems to be okay now. Guys, I'll definitely do an update with that light and make sure. Maybe it was just having a bad day, but it seems to be okay now, right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, now it's okay. And that's the flashing one, the SOS thing. But yeah, that was a little concerning. I'll contact Bluetti and ask them and see if they have any other hiccups or anything with that part about it. A lot of people don't even use these lights, but I'll tell you what, I like them, and I like them.
Good for an emergency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's 2 to, well, it's actually 4 watts, 5 watts on the. Boy, that's 5 watts is a lot for LED. You're blinded, aren't you?
I am. I keep looking at it and I can't see anything.
Oh,
now.
see, it did it again. Look at that. Huh. Well, I have to contact Bluetti and let him know it's on. As you can see, it's on. Oh, I think it's on.
It's on.
You can see it's on right there, guys. It's doing the twitch. Let me hold down the button and see what that does.
Oh.
Okay, well that turns off the system. Okay, so if you hit this button, that turns on the screen, and then you hit this button. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if there's maybe a wire loose in there. Or you can kind of see it flickering, guys. You see it? Let's make sure. See? There, it went up.
Again.
I don't know if it's maybe overheating or something, or oh, see, there it goes. See? Yeah. So, guys at Bluetti, I hope you see this video. As you can see that it's kind of flickering in there. Hopefully you can see that on video. I'm blind. I'm literally blind because I just stared into it, so I can't see anything. But I can see it flickering. My eyesight's coming back now. This is an extremely bright little light. Do you think it may be overheated, dear?
Or I was thinking maybe.
See it? See the little flickers?
I'm not sure why it would do it, but like a safety shut off, for if it like.
See it flickering in there, guys?
Gets knocked over. I don't know why I would do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm very happy that it happened now, though. You know, I mean, that's the whole point of a test, is to see. Guys, if you have this system and you had any trouble with this light, please let us know. Oh, geez, Louise, I'm blind now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's just leave it on for a second now. Let's let it sit. If you can see that, there's like a flickering right there. You can see the flickering. Yeah, I can see it. It's like slow flicker. So the first button, the low, works just fine. You know what? Let's see how hot it's getting in there. Maybe it's overheating or something. Let's. So it's almost 100 degrees in there in that little light there. I can't really tell where the. I know it's in there, but
here you go.
So 98. As you can see, it's heating up inside there. But boy, I'll tell you what, that light is hecka bright, guys. Hecka bright. See it's heating up. So it's up to 100. Let's just let it go for a minute and see. That almost seems like, you know, when a light kind of overheats, it flickers like that and twitches. But this is perfect time for Bluetti. Let's check the heat of the power station here. So 99. Well, we just charged it, guys. So that's where the heat is coming from. But let's test the light here again here. So yeah, so we're still to 100. Okay, I don't know if that's normal for an LED light of this model. Like I said, we just got it. We literally just opened it today, and that was the unboxing here. And then we're going to go to the brighter one, as you see, and then we'll test the. Oh, see, guys, you see that? So it's flickering now. So it seems like the second one, see, and it dropped off about 1.5 degrees, obviously because it's off, but see the, hopefully you guys can see that flickering. I don't want to aim it towards the camera again, because I literally blinded myself the last time I did that, and I still see dots.
Yeah.
This is very, very bright little light here. Yeah, that's something that I'm going to have to talk to Bluetti about and see if this light has any bearing on any problems that they've had with other systems. But yeah, see how it's flickering? So if I leave it off for a second, now it's off. As you can see, it's using no power. And then we turn it on. See, it flickers. You can see that the green is on. You can see that right there?
Yeah,
okay.
I can see it.
I'm still. Oh, see? Okay, see how that popped on?
Now I can't see it.
So it almost seems like when it cooled down, it popped back on. And I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. And now I'm going to go to number 2 right away, okay? The second one. Notice it gets brighter, guys. And we'll leave it on for a second and see what it does. See? And then it kind of shut off. So yeah. I think that's something that Bluetti has to look at. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I just got the system. It's the first time I'm checking it. That's what reviews are for, is to, you know, check the good and the bad and everything. This is a
push all the buttons.
And to push all the buttons. See it flickering in there, dear?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to let Bluetti take a look at this, and we're kind of go from there, guys. Other than that, I haven't seen any other hiccups with anything else yet. I mean, we're still in the testing phase. I like the circuit protector that pops, and then you can just push the little button like that. That's nice, because a lot of power stations don't have that here.
What is that for?
Like, say if you overpower this here,
yeah,
or well, it's probably for this. It's probably the input, sure. Which means if you bring in too much power and it surges, this pops, and then this protects the battery from getting overpowered.
So it's like a surge protector.
A circuit breaker, same as your house.
Yeah. Yep. So you have to push the button to make it turn back on again. But
yep. You just push it in like that, so it goes boop like that, and then you just push it in like that, and it goes boop when it gets too hot. This is kind of concerning to me, though, guys. I mean, it's a very small thing, but it's part of the power station, and everything should work good. I'm going to... Oh, see, there it goes. See that? I put it on low, and it popped back on.
It's when you go to high.
But notice I didn't touch it, guys. We're going to try it one more time just so Bluetti can see this, and then they're able to let me know if there's something that I did different or whatever. And then I'll show you the app real quick. Before I sign off here, my 400-minute ramble here. So I'm going to go to number 2 again. So that's the high. And notice it cut out right away, guys. And then you go to number 3, which should be that SOS strobe. And notice it's not really doing what it should. So I'm going to turn that off. Okay, now it's off. And I'm going to let it sit. And I'll talk to Bluetti about that. And they'll obviously either comment on this video, or they'll let me know what the deal is with that light. here is the app, and the app is real simple. If you download it from either Google Play or Apple Store, you can either log in and register your product at Bluetti through the app, or you can use, which I like, the offline mode. The nice thing about that is when you click the offline mode, you don't have to be online to use it. Obviously, the offline mode says what it is. And then there's my EB3A, so I'm going to click that, and there you go. This pops up here.
Ta-da.
And there you go. So obviously it's 99%, which is, that's what it says here. And then you have, it's a very, very simplistic layout. I do like this a lot so far. Like I said, this is the first day we're testing it. We just got sent this from Bluetti. We just partnered with them to do reviews for them.
Pushing buttons.
Yep. So once again, we didn't pay a penny for this model. Not anything for shipping, not anything for the unit, not anything. We give an honest review, and they allow us to keep this product if we wish for doing the review. So here we have PV, so that's your solar input, and then here's grid, and that's obviously this. This is your grid, which is your house, or the million of cable wires that are connected to every house in your neighborhood. That's known as the grid. So that's the grid, and then that's the PV. So if I were to plug this in real quick, you can see that this little guy will turn on. Even though it's almost full, it'll obviously still try to put more in there, because that's what it's designed to do. So let's plug this in. As you'll see, it should turn the system on. And now here, notice it went to 187 watts from the grid. It didn't turn on here, notice, because that's how it saves power. So you have to click the button to physically see it here. But you can watch it here, which is nice because you can be in the next room about, I think it's up to 16 feet away, dear. Was that what it was? Yeah, up to 16.4. It was a weird number, 16.4 feet. So guys, don't be more than 15 feet away and you'll be safe. Which is across the whole room. So you can literally just push these little buttons, and you can turn on the DC just by hitting this button. And notice that the little DC green popped on right there. You like that, dear? That's pretty fun. And then you can hit the AC, which is over here. I'll let you hit that one, dear. You can have fun too.
Really?
Yeah, you get to hit that one.
Here we go. Boop.
All right, boop. Now notice that this turned on, guys. So that's a very handy little thing. Now notice the little squiggles are running everywhere, which means now you have power going out for the DC and the power going out to the AC. Now you're not using any power. It just shows that they're active. They're using, well, a tiny bit of power, because whenever you have an inverter on, it uses what's known as background power. That's kind of power that's in standby mode. It's kind of like, you know, your car is started and idling, but you're not driving anywhere. That's kind of what they're doing. They're idling, but they're not doing anything. So as soon as you plug something in, dear, if you could grab one of the little heaters.
Sure.
I'll put this right in the middle here so we can kind of keep that on camera. And then she'll grab the little heaters here, and we're going to plug a little heater in here. Okay, so we're going to take this little guy here, okay? And then you guys can see how this works here. I do have questions about the light, though. I got to contact my my new contact at Bluetti there and talk to them about it. So now I'm going to plug this in here in one of the two AC receptacles that you get, which are 120 volts at 5 amps each, which equals 600 watts. And it can surge all the way up to 1200 watts when needed. So here we're going to turn this little bad boy on like that. And you can see that this little light came on, right? Because I obviously turned it on. But now notice here, see that? So it says 141. This will go up to about just under 200 watts, I believe. So we're bringing in about 250, 220. It'll change until this settles down, guys. It'll be, let's see here, 163, 228.
You know what I like then?
What do you like then, dear?
So then, like, if you want to check it, but you don't want to turn the screen on, you know, you can just pop out your phone and check it that way.
Yep.
That way, if you're not sitting near it, you can still keep an eye on it, like within 15 feet.
Absolutely. You know, say you're watching a movie and you have like a projection screen or something like that, or you know, you have this hooked to like a coffee maker across the way, and it's an old style coffee maker that just has an on-off button like this. You can literally wake up, hit this button, and next thing you know, your coffee starts making coffee. I'm a hot chocolate guy. Everybody knows that. But my wife loves her coffee. She's got all the fancy gizmos. But if she had a coffee maker like this, watch this. Okay, now you guys watch this little light right here. You can hear it, right? Mm-hmm. That's the fan vibrations and the fan noise from the little heater. But now watch this, dear. If you hit the AC button,
Okay.
now notice that just basically turned off this little heater. And notice you didn't have to get up to do that. So if you had a small heater like that and it was plugged in over, you know, wherever, you can turn it on literally by just tapping these little buttons. So I'm going to turn the DC off, and then I'm going to have Miss Rambling Bob hit the AC one more time.
Okay.
And you'll see this turn on, okay?
This is fun. I like this.
And there you go. See that, guys? So it turned on this inverter right here, and look at that. Because this has what's known as a standalone button, which is either on or off, a lot of new technologies have a pressure sensitive button, which means when you turn it on, you have to turn it on again. You know what I mean? When you plug it in, it'll have you turn it on again. It's a safety thing. That way your device is off. But the old devices like this have these hard buttons here where they're either off or they're on. So you can literally go like this and turn it on and off with that button at any time, which is very dangerous for heaters, guys, to have a heater that won't shut off like that. But it is very nice to have a button like that where you can just literally push that button like that, and next thing you know, boop, there it goes on. So that's pretty cool. And then as far as, let's turn that off now. The app obviously uses a little bit of power as well, because remember that app has Bluetooth, and Bluetooth uses power on the little circuit board. Yes, dear?
What does that button do?
This, oh no, this is the power one. So let's unhook everything now, okay?
I want to press that one too.
I know everybody wants to press the power button because it's power. All right, here we go. So basically I'm going to set this here, and I'm going to let Miss Rambling Bob push that little button. We have to wait a few seconds, because when you unplug a system, when you unplug a system, Bluetti recommends that you wait about 10 seconds before you use the power here, just so the system understands that you're going back to the power of this. Okay, so here comes Miss Rambling Bob. Now what she's going to do is she's going to show you what this little red power button does right here. Like, say you're all the way across the room and you want to just turn this on. Okay, and what does it say, dear?
It says, "Are you sure you want to power off the device? Please note that you will be able to power on your Bluetti device."
Hurry up. You only get 10 seconds. Okay, and there you go, done. So now the system is 100% off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yep, there it goes.
There it goes, right? Now it says 0%, which means that the Bluetooth and everything is all shut down, so you're saving your power. You can click like this to see that again, but notice it's not on, guys. Okay?
Oh.
So you go like that again.
Put this
Hold that down.
Turn it on.
There you go. Let's give it a try. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this back a little bit more so you can see it a little bit clearer. And then she's going to push the power button to see what that does.
Oh.
Okay, communication disconnected, which means...
Oh, because it's off.
Yeah, so basically, see, communication disconnected. So you're not able to turn the device on unless you go back to that. You look for the, let's see here, offline mode. Okay, so let's go to offline mode.
I think I know why.
Why is that?
I think when you turn it off, the Bluetooth turns off too, and that's the way it connects.
On the phone?
No, on the.
Okay,
on
Bluetooth's
here.
on. Okay.
I wonder if the Bluetooth turns off on here, and that's why you can't connect to it.
Okay, fair enough. So let's try that. Let's try that. So let's turn this screen on. And then we're going to turn, let's see, the refresh here. Oh, yep, sure enough. So there you go. Okay, so the screen has to be active in order for you to link to this thing.
Because if the Bluetooth was on all the time when the machine was off,
that would drain energy.
The battery.
Yep. And then there's your EB3A. So you just click that little bad boy button right there. So that button allows you to shut the system down, but it doesn't allow you to turn it on. So the system has to be in what's known as standby mode if you want to use something like that and you want to turn it on and off from here. So is that helpful for you, dear? I think that's still helpful.
I like it. It's like back in the day when you had a TV where you had to get up and change the channel all the time. And then they made the remote, and you didn't have to do it anymore. Yeah,
this is kind of kind of like that as far as power stations.
And you can keep an eye on it too. Like if it's new to you and you want to like check on it, but not have to get up, you can go check your phone and be
I like the battery percentage.
Yeah.
If you were in the next room and it's less than about 16-20 feet away, then matter of fact, dear, why don't we try this? Let's do another test since we're giving it the all in here. Let's let's turn on the AC through here. Let's do that. Or actually, here, I'll have you take this to the other room.
Okay.
Let's go all the way to the other room.
Okay.
And then what you'll do is you'll turn on the AC, and we'll see if this turns on from one room away, guys. Now, there's 2 walls dividing these 2 rooms just to test the Bluetooth distance, and let's see if it works. Okay, let me know when you hit the button.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Look at that, guys. Okay, so she's about 20 feet away, and there is 2 walls in between us, and notice that this thing turned on. You hear that? So that's pretty cool. Okay, can you turn that off, dear?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, you can come on back. So, guys, that works a lot further than what I thought. This little heater was able to be turned on and off. What would you say, about 20 feet away?
Yeah, it's
15?
like a 2-second delay, but it's far away, so it makes sense.
Yep,
You know?
it has to take time for the signal to get
Yep.
here. Yeah, I was waiting and it didn't do anything, and all of a sudden, click, it turned on. I think that's a great addition to any power station is the app. Now notice that this will use a little bit extra power because the system is on standby and you're using the Bluetooth. But I'll tell you what, that's really handy if for some reason, like say you went in the other room and you had something running and you forgot you left it running, right?
Yeah, you can turn it.
And now you can turn it off from the other side of the RV or something. And we went through 2 walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through the entire bathroom is in between this room, the workshop, and the other room, and there's a bathroom in between, and that's 2 solid walls about 10 inches thick each. They're pretty heavy walls. I was both of the doors are open though. I got to give it that,
Yeah.
but that's on a different angle.
Yeah.
So I have to give that a little bit more than 16 feet, I think.
Yeah.
There is a little delay that we noticed, but I'll tell you what, overall that worked pretty darn good, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. All right, guys, well, this is a very long review. I'm going to do an update on this light just to see. I'll see what Bluetti says about that light. And you know what? Let's test it again. Let's turn. Oh, you know what, though? You can't. Can you turn the light on here? Wasn't there a light button on there?
I don't think there was.
No light. Okay. I thought there was a light button on there, guys. Okay. So DC, AC, power. Oh, you know what? There it is. There was a light bulb. Okay, guys, I didn't finish. I'm sorry. We got to stay a couple more minutes. I'm sorry. It's a very long review, and I apologize.
Well,
Okay, so you have very few settings on this, guys. You have the eco mode, which basically, when you turn that on, it says eco up here, and that shuts down after you have no load on it for a time. I don't like that. I like to turn it off myself, and now that I have the app, I can turn it off myself. So I keep that off. You have a few hours. Let's see how many hours here. Sorry, I forgot all about this. This is a first power station that we had on the channel with an app. So this is all kind of new to us, guys. You have anywhere between 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours that you can set the auto eco mode on. So that's nice. That is nice if that pertains to what you need. Here's the LED light, guys. So I thought there was a button, and you click this, and you can either go high or let's see, it's medium, high, or SOS. So let's try medium. And notice that, oh, see, it's struggling to turn on, guys?
mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Here, I'll try to get the camera in there a little bit more here, just so we can see this. I'm going to have to talk to Bluetti because obviously this is a weird one here. Let's see if I can, I'll put it to high now. And nothing, okay. I wonder, so maybe this model, and you know what happens? Oh, see, there it goes. See, I tried. Yeah, so like in all manufacturing, guys, companies have oopsies. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just saying, oh, see how it tried to turn on, and then you have let's go back to low now, or medium. There's no low. That's strange. It's medium, high, and SOS, and off. So that's all you get right there. But notice that light did not turn on, guys. The button's on, but that light, I don't know if there's a short. Do you see it flash, guys? You see that? Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna have to talk to Bluetti about that. That's a strange one, and that might just be an oopsie that passed through the quality control check. Then you have, let's see. Let me turn that. I'll turn it off from in here, so you can turn it to SOS or off. That way, like say if this is on, you know, when it works, you'd have it on a shelf, and then you can hit that button, and next thing you know, you turn on the light like in an RV, and you light up the whole RV. That's a heck of bright light. But for some reason, it's
you
just
lay down, and you're like, oh, I didn't turn the light on.
Right. Yeah, it's, you know, you guys remember this clap on. So
Clap
this is your new clap on, clap off of the apps. That's pretty cool. But like I said, I have to talk to Bluetti about that. Yeah.
App on. App off.
There you go. App on, app off. Charging mode, here's where you get your standard, your turbo, or your silent. The nice thing about silent is it doesn't allow full power in, so the fans don't kick on. That's nice if you want to charge this while you're sleeping, or if somebody's sleeping in the same room, or if you just, like say you have a baby sleeping in the same room, or whatever the situation is, you can keep it quiet. For turbo mode, that's just who cares, let's go full power, and then, you know, get as much power in there as possible. And then standard is what I would keep it on. That's me. The power lifting now, that is a big thing. It says suitable for powering 1200 watts max, heating devices, peer resistant loads. So that's basically one of these. If I had a 1200 watt heater, this could power that, but obviously, guys, it would not power very long. The rated power output remains at 600, but what it does is it lifts the power up to give you that surge power just so it starts, and then obviously it tapers back down to 600. So kind of like an air conditioner, but I don't recommend running an air conditioner on something like this. This is for kind of like a heater thing. You're not going to get much power out of this little guy with a heater, obviously. And then it says, do not power refrigerator, air conditioner, etc. So there you go. You have a warning right there, guys. The power lifting, I'm not a fan of, so I don't use it. And then that's pretty much it. It's a very simplistic app. It's very, you know, straightforward and to the point. I don't know how much power the app uses to the phone, but obviously you can, you know, go like this and turn your phone off, and when you need it, you can just click the button, swipe it, and boom, there you got your app. It's active again. Okay, well, that'll be the first of the unboxing and the first look at the system.
Yeah.
I like it so far. I have questions about the light, and I'm going to contact Bluetti. Like I said, I'll see what they say. It's possible that just got through the quality control, and it's just a oopsie. I'll try it one last time, because I always give, you know, many tests, because one test could be wrong. So we'll turn it on and see no light. So I don't know if the LED is burning out. I don't know if it's overpowering. I don't know if there's a short. And then that would be, as you can see, it went up higher. That should be on brighter now. And then that one should be on the SOS. And notice nothing's coming on. So, and then that's off. So notice it didn't come on. It comes on from time to time. I'll contact Bluetti, and I will let you guys know on the next update for this Ramblin Bob Reviews of the Bluetti EB3A. I love it, but I want to check the light. Anything from you, dear?
Did you try the top part too, or are we waiting?
This part?
Yeah.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, grab your phone real quick. Yeah. Holy cow. Guys, see, my phone doesn't have that fancy technology. My wife's does. So here, we're going to turn on the DC, and she's going to put her phone up there just for a second.
We're going to do two tests, though. One with the phone case and one without.
Okay, one with the phone case. She knows how to work this, guys. I'm an old school fella.
It's charging
there
with
you
the
go.
phone case.
It went to 79, and then there's your output already. So that's nice that it actually went through. And what kind of phone case is that?
That's an OtterBox.
An OtterBox. And OtterBoxes are pretty thick, guys. So that's nice to see. Now notice it went back down to 0 now.
It says it's charging.
It is. Oh, it is charging.
Yeah, I see it on my phone.
Oh, it is charging. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that too. All right, guys. I got lots of tests to do on this little guy.
Yeah.
There'll be another video. Hopefully, it won't be as long as this one. But I really, really appreciate you guys joining the party here and checking out these videos. Oh, there it goes again. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it was just kind of doing whatever it needed to do to talk to it or something, and figure. Oh, see. Well, we'll have to check it again. Okay.
Let's do longer tests on it.
Longer test. There you go, guys. There's going to be more videos for sure. All right, guys. Be safe and ramble on, and there'll be more updates with this, I promise. This is the first time we've ever used it, and it's the first thing that Bluetti has ever sent to us for our channel. All right, guys. We'll definitely be back with updates with this bad boy. If you have this system, leave a comment. We want to know. We don't know anything about this as of today. This is all the knowledge we have. So put a comment down there. Like the video. If you don't like the video, explain why, why you did or didn't like the system, or your reaction to it or whatever. But we'd love to hear from you guys, because that's how we all learn as a community. This is brand new for us. So thanks, guys, and ramble on, be safe, and I'll see you again on Ramblin Bob Reviews.
Bye!
Bye!